If you all see little particles flying through the air in this camera, it's probably all the built up product in my hair, okay? I'm gonna go wash it right after this, I promise. But you guys have to see this. You guys have to see this. You see this little bow? I mean... Anyway, Merry Christmas in July. Hey babes! Welcome or welcome back to Moonbae Crochet. It is Brandy and today I have a very exciting video for you. It's far too hot in here to be wearing this sweater, oh my god, but I figured a little bow, Christmas. It's our last Christmas in July. July kind of flew by like really fast. I don't love that. Don't love that. The snowball's already starting to you know. But Christmas in July is a little series I started here on this channel where every Friday in July I take 30 minutes to work on some crochet Christmas gifts for this coming year. Shall I say for this coming Christmas season? Because last year I ran out of time completely, didn't get a chance to crochet anything for anybody, and it made me very sad. So this year I'm trying to get ahead of it. However, in this episode of Christmas in July, I actually am not going to be working on anything. I'm just going to be sharing something very exciting with you that does still have to do with Christmas, so stay with me. Before we hop right into today's video, in case you are new here, my name is Brandy. I love to do crochet content on here, sharing patterns with you guys, showing off finished projects, sometimes reading a story or two, and sometimes days like today, where actually a lot of my videos this month have just been kind of like chit-chatty, vibing, hanging out. I promise to get more involved content in the upcoming month. But in case any of that kind of content sounds interesting to you, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, sticking around. We have lots of fun here. And without further ado, let's hop right into today's exciting announcement, which is that I will be doing a market this year. And I know that sounds kind of like silly because I feel like some crocheters, like I feel like that's all they do and they're always going to markets and they have like multiple a year, maybe multiple a month. I have never been that person. I have done only one market in my entire life and it was cute. It was fun. I liked the experience of doing it. However, it was kind of dead. The town that it was in, I just feel like they didn't do a ton of marketing for it. So I feel like not really that many people showed up. And so, you know, I did make some sales. I'm not going to like sit here and boo-hoo and like, oh, you know, I didn't sell anything so it wasn't fun. Like, no, it was still very fun and I really enjoyed like the experience of whipping up a bunch of things and getting to lay them all out and set up my little display, and it was a good time. But this market that I found out that's coming up is apparently a tradition in my town, and I don't know why, I just barely found out about it. But I discovered it just by kind of like doing a Google search. I don't know what like provoked me to do this. But anyway, I just like Googled like craft fairs near me, right? And I ended up coming across this like website for a craft fair, and it said like, oh, the dates are November, I don't know, 20 something, and like 2 days in a row, but it said of 2024. So I was like, oh, I missed it. Like, this is an old website. But I decided to just kind of like look through it, and then I noticed on there it did say follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and I was like, So I clicked on their Instagram page. I ended up getting taken to their Instagram and looking, and you know, there was a bunch of pictures of the craft fair that had happened last year in November. And then I saw one of their more recent posts was like the day after the whole fair had gone on, and it said, this was so much fun, thank you all for showing up, see you next year. And it had dates for this coming year, and they haven't really been updating it because it's apparently a Christmassy themed market, which I'm like, you guys know I'm a Christmas girly, okay? So like a market that I can sell my crochet wares at that's also Christmas themed, sign me up. And so anyway, it said that it's going to be on November 22nd and 23rd of this year, and I found out about it. I was like, oh my god, do I want to do this? And then I went to work like a day or two later, and I asked my boss, I was like, hey, so real quick, does anybody have Saturday the 22nd marked off? And she checked, she was like, oh, that's like really close to Thanksgiving, huh? And I was like, yeah, it's the Saturday before. So I figured somebody would have it. She flipped and nobody did. So now I do. I'm getting that Saturday off, and then I always have Sundays off. So I'm going to get to go both days to this craft fair, and I'm so excited. So today, for this episode of Christmas in July, I want to talk to you about all of the market makes that I'm thinking of making, things that I want to market prep. And I know that this is kind of like adding another chunk of things onto my to-do list that is already so big. There's so many things I want to crochet for Christmas this year, and I don't want to end up putting that off just because I'm doing this. But I think I want to challenge myself to, you know, push myself to do both. You know, this is I love crochet, I do. And sometimes I feel like I succumb to, you know, I was very, like, I had a hard day at work. It was very long. I'm tired, like, and I come home and I'm just like, oh, like, I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing. But, you know, whenever I kind of like push past that feeling and I'm like, you know what, let me just do a row or two, or let me just pick up this and see what I can do on this project, it always does end up making me feel better. I get into like a groove and it feels good. So I feel like I need to try to like lean more into that feeling to push myself if I really want to get everything done that I want to get done this year, because now I'm adding this whole other thing. And you know, for a market, especially a 2-day market, I want to be able to have like a good amount of stock. That way people have plenty to choose from. So anyway, today I kind of wanted to go over with you guys what I'm planning on market prepping and maybe getting your guys' input, because I feel like the list I have is okay, but personally, and maybe this is ambitious, I feel like it's not long enough. So I want to kind of tell you what I have listed and then get your guys' opinions. I want to hear what other things that you guys think I should add to the list. Things that maybe if you've done craft fairs or markets that you find are like quick to make, because that's kind of like my whole vibe that I'm going for. Cute things, but that are also pretty fast, that I can get done decently quickly. I can't be working on something like, yeah, I don't know. Even this doesn't even like seem that complicated, but it's like, look at my buddy here. His name is Pedro. And he was very cute, but it's like something like this with like all these details and like this hat. It took, you know, look at all those rows. It's just like a little bit too much. Like I need some things that are like much quicker, because, you know, I want to be able to make the most that I can in the shortest amount of time, optimizing my time. So after I give you guys my list, I'm going to leave the floor open to you guys. Please let me know what else I can add to the list that you find are good market makes, or even if you've never done a market before, if there's like something that you like to crochet that you know is quick, it's easy, and it's still really cute, please let me know. But so let's jump right into what I have listed. Okay, so I have my list broken up into 2 categories. First is practical, second is funsies. So my practical items are going to be like useful things. Everything can be meant for like gift giving, of course, but my funsies are more like stuffed animals and stuff like that. Things that like don't really necessarily serve a purpose other than like to be cutesy. Let's start with my practical list. Practical list, number 1, always comes to my mind, coaster sets. I'm thinking of doing sets of 4 coasters. So many different like shapes you can do. Like I'm thinking of doing just like basic little like either single crochet or like half double crochet little blocks and like adding little tassels at the end so that they look like little rugs, and I can just call them mug rugs. I feel like that'll be cute. I could do like simple circles, but really I think I want to do sort of like sunflower coasters, but maybe like make them in red. That way they kind of look like poinsettia. I feel like that would be really, really pretty. But there's so many different coaster options. I think Jada and Stitches has this really beautiful coaster pattern that they look like little presents, like with a bow on top and everything. And I feel like that would be so adorable, especially around Christmas time. I don't want to make everything that I'm taking to my market Christmassy themed, because sometimes if you're like me, like I love cutesy Christmassy themed stuff. However, sometimes if I'm buying people gifts for Christmas, I don't like them to be Christmas themed, because I don't want the person to feel like, oh, well, now I can't use this until next Christmas. You know, I want somebody to be able to just get something in like a color or pattern that they love and be able feel like they can like utilize it, you know, whenever, however. But so yeah, that was like first top of my mind, coasters. That's like super simple. I love my crochet coasters more than any other coasters that I've ever used, so I feel like other people would love them as well. I think sets of 4 would be good as long as they're like decently quick to make. Next on my list I have cozies. This goes into like a bunch of different like types of cozies that I could make. I have can cozies, so like for a 12-ounce, standard 12-ounce can, like a Coke can or a beer can even. Cozies for like the slim cans, like a seltzer. And I kind of even want to make cozies for like the tall boys, you know, like the big Arizona iced teas or like the twisted teas, tall boy modelo, like whatever it is, something like that, because I feel like that's not something that I see very often. I have made cozies for standard 12-ounce cans and for slim cans, but I've never made one for a tall boy, and I don't think I've ever seen one. I'm sure they exist. So I feel like that would be a good idea, especially because a lot of the people that I know, they drink like the big tall cans like that. Other kinds of cozies, of course, standard cup cozies, like, you know, the coffee sleeves, the cardboard coffee sleeves that you get from a place like Starbucks or whatever. You know, make a crochet one out of cotton, and then somebody can just like reuse it whenever, you know, if they have like the reusable cups, they can just throw it on that. You know, they don't get their hands hot. Cup cozies are always a good one. And then also mug cozies, so like, you know, the ones that have a button or some kind of closure, that way you can like wrap it around a mug that has a handle. I feel like that's so cute because then you can like hold the handle, and then your other hand is kept safe from the hot liquid by this cup cozy. So I feel like those are really cute. The only thing with that is like mugs are all different shapes and sizes, so I don't know if there's like a standard type pattern to do with something like that, or, you know, I don't really know. But I've never made a cup cozy like that. I've made the standard like coffee sleeve ones, but I've never made a mug cozy that like has a closure or whatever. So if anybody has ever made those, please let me know. Is there some, I don't know, is there like any rhyme or reason to that, or do you just kind of like follow a pattern? Let me know your experience in doing that. Oh, and then one type of cozy that I have been wanting to make forever and I just haven't gotten around to it, ice cream pint cozies. Because listen, girl, there's never a wrong time for ice cream. Obviously, we're in late July, okay? It's like prime ice cream season, but ice cream season isn't a thing because I'll eat ice cream in the dead of winter, okay? There's no wrong time for ice cream. You know how like when it's 800 degrees outside and you come in and your mom is making caldo? You know, she's got the menudo going and you're like, what the hell? It's like so hot outside, but it still hits. It's like the same thing. Like, yeah, it might be 20 degrees outside, but I'm gonna come in and I still kind of want ice cream for dessert. It's like that. But you don't want to get your little fingers frozen. You don't want to feel like you got frostbite trying to hold this little pint of ice cream, because I know you're eating directly out of it. I know you are. You know why? Because I know I am, so I know you are too. You know, I don't need my Ben and Jerry singeing my poor little hand. So I want to make ice cream pint cozies. I feel like they would go, because that's just like such a cutesy gift idea, I think. That's something that if I saw it, I'd be like, oh, I'm getting everybody I know one of those. So yeah, those are all the different types of cozies that I kind of have listed right now. I feel like there's more, but those are the ones that I had listed. So if you can think of anything else, let a girl know. Okay, next on my practical list is grocery bag dispensers. Now, I'm not sure that that is what exactly that they're called, but Jade & Stitches has this really cute pattern where it's kind of like a longish bag with a handle on top, and it's kind of mesh, like the stitches are like, you know, nice and lacy, but it has this opening on the bottom and an opening on the top, like where the handle is. So you can stuff all of your like plastic grocery bags that you get from the grocery store inside there. You can like fold them up nice, you know, try to fit as many as you can in there. You can make it really long, you can make it kind of short, depending. Just stuff your plastic grocery bags in there, and then that way whenever you need like easy access to a grocery bag, like maybe you use them for recyclables like I do, you know, just from the bottom you can pull out your plastic bag that you need, and you got your plastic bags all organized in one place. You can hang it up somewhere under the sink, wherever. I don't know where you keep your stuff, but I think that that is such a practical thing. I love that. And so I did make some of those for my last market. I don't think I sold a single one, but that is not deterring me. I'm blaming the fact that there wasn't really that many people there. Who knows? I think that they're cute. I think that they're practical, and they don't take very long. So I feel like that's a good kind of practical item to include. Next are velvet key wristlets. And actually, they don't necessarily have to just be velvet, but the pattern that I use for them is velvet key wristlets. But honestly, I think depending on like the width and whatever, you can make it in just about whatever kind of yarn you want. I think velvet obviously will grow quicker though, so anything kind of thick, I feel like that's the type of yarn I would go for with this. But key wristlets, come on, you can make them in so many different colors, and I think that that is just such a practical gift to get. Plus I have plenty of little like key, like bag clip, what do you call them, like they're like the lobster clasp, but like for keys. I have a bunch of those, so literally just crochet a wristlet on that, and then people can use them for their keys. I think that that's such a cute gift idea, so I'm gonna make a bunch of those. And I think that like if I make them in the velvety, especially like with my sparkly velvets, I think people will love those. Another one, going back to like my cotton yarn kind of like usage, pot holders. That kind of goes hand in hand with like coasters, I think, and like cozies. I think pot holders is another great one, although they are bigger than coasters, so they might take a little longer. But if anybody has any like good patterns for a pot holder that is like quick to make, I think pot holders are great gifts for like, especially like, I don't know, personally to me, it's like the older women in your life, your moms, your grandmas, your aunties. This just seems like that has them written all over it. Unless you got a friend like me who's like not even 30, but very much has like grandma tendencies. I love kitchen stuff. I love pot holders. I love coasters. I this kind of stuff, I eat it up. Next, I think gift card holders. Incredible thing that I can take to a market, because I feel like around that time when everybody's starting to gear up and get like their holiday shopping done, so many people are like, you know what, let me just get them a gift card, or let me just give them cash, or whatever, you know. But a lot of times I feel like, especially like people like me, I don't love to give just a gift card. I will if I have to, but it's not my preferred gift. Only because I just feel like it makes the person think that I didn't really put that much effort into it. But I know in reality nobody's actually thinking that, because when I receive a gift card, I'm just like, oh my God, amazing, thank you so much. Like, I get so excited, like, oh, thank you for giving me money to this place that you know I like. So clearly I know that other people probably think that way too. But I think that when you take something simple like a gift card and then you put it into like a handmade little holder, that can just like elevate it so much. And then that person can either keep it if they think that the holder is really cute, or they can re-gift it and put a gift card that they got for somebody else in there and like kind of share the love type of situation. But specifically, I really love the idea of like a little mini stocking, like a Christmas stocking. Like, how cute is that? And then just like a little gift card kind of sticking out of it. I think that that is an adorable idea. I did some of those with Jada and Stitch. I keep mentioning Jada and Stitches. She is the queen, okay, of Christmas ideas. But I did a lot of her falling leaves mini stocking patterns for the market that I went to in 2023. Have I been saying last year? I meant in 2023. I don't even know if I even said, but whatever. I did a bunch of those, and I did get a few people who bought them. They did, one lady said like, oh, you know, it's gonna be my grandson's first Christmas, so I want to get him this little mini stocking. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. But then also, you know, a couple people did get them like just to use as gift card holders, and I'm like, I think that's so cute. And then they have the little hanger too, so you can like put them on the tree if you want. I just think that that's adorable. Next up, scrunchies. I feel like the younger girls really gravitate towards the scrunchies, and I just feel like that's such a good excuse to use up the fluffy stuff, the stuff that's really hard to see your stitches with. You don't even really need to see your stitches when you're making a scrunchie. They just come out so fluffy and cute, easy hair accessory. Love it. And then also, depending on how long it takes, maybe not too big ones, but like some little hair bows. I would have to get clips like to attach to them though, because I feel like how else would I make a crochet hair bow like, you know, workable? I feel like everybody just kind of wants to clip it in, you know, so I'm gonna have to look into getting clips if I want to do hair bows. But I also have to try to find a pattern that won't take too long. That one was kind of just an idea that I was jumbling around in my head. That one's not actually one that I wrote down. And lastly, in my practical category, I have bookmarks. There is this one pattern I do. I actually have a video on this channel of like how many bookmarks can I make in, I don't know, I think it was 30 minutes or something like that. And that was a fun video to do, and those bookmarks are so lightning fast. Like, I seriously feel like I could crochet 100 of them in a day, and that's because I'm a very easily distracted individual. Okay, I can't focus on one thing for very long. I start doing something and then it's like my brain just needs to be stimulated by something else. This is probably why I have a lot of trouble finishing things, and I have like a lot of whips and stuff. It's hard. It's really hard for me. But yeah, I feel like bookmarks like that, like there's so many readers out there, and it's so cool when people actually like still read out of physical books and not necessarily like a Kindle, which, hey, not knocking if you like reading on a Kindle or like audiobooks or anything like that. I'm just saying, I do kind of like seeing the youngins these days reading out of physical books, and it's like, you know, my mom would forever like be folding the corner of her page so that she knew where she was, and I'm like, hello, this is why bookmarks exist. Like, please don't ruin the pages of your book. Use a crochet bookmark. Okay, next up we have my funsies category, and it's almost practically just a bunch of amigurumi. But specifically, the top two I have are loaf cats and loaf dogs. I think loaf cats and loaf dogs can seriously be completed in like 60 to 90 minutes. Not long at all. And like for what it is that you're making, that's like a really good return on investment there. Like they're just so cute. I feel like people love them. I have like some ideas because like obviously, you know, making basic loaf cats and loaf dogs is like perfect, right? Black cats, white dogs with brown spots, calico cats, orange cats, you know, plain like brown dogs, like all cute, right? And I definitely do want to make some of those. However, the market is November 22nd. And Wicked, the second Wicked, comes out November 21st, the day before my market. So picture this, okay? Picture this. Green loaf cat, black witch hat. Pink loaf cat, silver crown. Elfie and Glinda loaf cats. And then dogs too, same thing. You guys, like, that is the thing that I think I'm most excited about right now. Like, I cannot put into words. I have to make this a reality. Glinda and Elphaba, loaf cats and loaf dogs. It's going to be too good. It's going to be too good. Because you know what? Even if they don't sell at the market, oh, I know they're going to sell on Etsy like hotcakes. So I don't think that it's going to be a waste of my time whatsoever. And I just think they're going to be so cute. Now, whether or not I will actually crochet the crowns and the hats is up for debate. Only because I'm like, am I going to have time? Because there's also things that I want to make like with little Santa hats. And I'm almost contemplating like seeing if I could go on Amazon or something and buy like a bulk of like witch hats and like Santa hats and like little silver crowns and stuff. Because that might help me kind of in the process. I can just kind of like super glue them on. But I don't know, you guys can let me know what you think, but is that not a cute freaking idea or what? And like also Santa themed loaf cats, loaf dogs, like, you know, they can just be like red, green, white, or even spotted with a little Santa hat. So cute. Next up on my funsies is of course turtles. Turtles, I love turtles. I really want to make turtles that like with the like standard happy turtle pattern from Happy Turtle Crochet. Because I really do love just making the standard turtle in whatever colors I'm feeling and then just like crocheting a long chain and like tying it into a ribbon and hot gluing the ribbon onto the back. I feel like it adds such an adorable touch. And then if I made them in like Christmassy colors, like imagine the emerald green turtle with like a white shell and a sparkly red ribbon on the back. Hello, how adorable. And there's like endless combinations that I could do with those Christmassy colors. And obviously just make standard colors too, like pinks, purples, blues. Like everybody has their favorite color. And I feel like if you see that at a market, you're like, oh my God, I want that one, you know? Or, you know, you might have somebody else in mind if you're getting into that holiday vibe. You want to buy somebody else something. You're like, oh, so-and-so loves green and that turtle is perfect for her and it's not too Christmassy. She can keep it out all year. So I want to do definitely a bunch of just like standard happy turtles, but I do have a bunch of patterns from Happy Turtle Crochet that are also Christmassy themed, like gingerbread turtle. I love that pattern. There's also Santa turtle that like actually has the buckle, like Santa's belt buckle, but on the back, and it has a little Santa hat as well. I feel like that will just be so cute. If it starts to get a little loud in the background, y'all, it's because my washing machine is having a little bit of a heyday over there, okay? Let's try to ignore it. But yeah, so many different types of turtles that I could make. Oh, I don't have this pattern yet, but I think last year around Christmas time, Happy Turtle Crochet came out with a hot cocoa turtle pattern. Like the shell is like a mug of hot cocoa, and I think it has, I don't know if it has marshmallows or if it has whipped cream, but regardless, it's so adorable. Hello, I think that's also perfect. With these kind of things, like all the loaf cats and the loaf dogs and the turtles that I want to make, I'm almost kind of wondering like how many of each kind should I make, you know? It's not necessarily like I'm scared of over making necessarily. Like I'm not worried about having too much inventory. It's more so like I don't want to waste my time making too many of something when I could move on and make more of something else. You know what I mean? So if anybody out there has like ever really market prepped like that, can you please give me like your best tips and tricks for sort of figuring out your deadlines and like how many of this do I want to have done, and there's something like that. Please help a girl out. I also have on my list of funsies, which these might be like, I'll make just a handful of them only because I know that they do take a little bit longer, but they are still really adorable. Bunnies and Bears. And by bunnies, I do mean like, I don't necessarily mean that I'm going to make them in acrylic, but this is the style of bunny that I'm talking about with the ruffle hat and the overalls. They do take longer than like a turtle or like a loaf cat, but I think that the result is super adorable. So I feel like something like this, but like maybe in chenille yarn, would be adorable. And then the bear pattern that I use is from the same artist, and the only difference is there's no hat, and it's obviously bear ears and not bunny ears, but everything else is pretty much the same. The head, the body. Yeah, so I think bears and bunnies would be another cute one, especially if they are kind of in like holiday themed colors, but also just like standard colors are very cute too. Definitely though, chenille yarn, because I think that they'll sell much easier and much better than acrylic. Another one on my funsies list is keychains, specifically like no sew keychains. That way they're very quick, easy, low effort. And I do have a bunch of key rings that I need to use up anyways, not just the lobster clasp ones that I was telling you about, but like I have just standard keychains as well. And also, please let me know, because I am always so afraid of making a keychain, a crochet keychain, and then somebody buys it, or making it as a gift and giving it to somebody. I'm always scared that the crochet item is going to come off of the keychain. That does concern me a bit. Like, I feel like I secure it really well in there. Like, I go in and I am like tying the tightest knots, trying to make sure that like it won't ever come off. But I still always have this underlying fear that like this is gonna fall off of somebody's purse or something like that. Not the keychain itself, but that the crochet item is gonna rip off of the keychain. I don't know if that's like really a thing. Like, I don't know if that's gonna happen, but to me, I'm just scared of it happening. So what is the best way to secure? I know that this is almost like an opposite Q&A. Like, I feel like I'm asking you guys a bunch of questions, but yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think is the best way to secure a keychain onto a crocheted item? Because I don't want to run that risk. I don't want people to have, like, they buy one thing from me and that one thing ended up being a bust because it fell off of the keychain and it was like cheap, like I don't want people to have that impression of me. I really want to make good, high quality products. So yeah, please let me know. Only two more things on my list. One is car hangers. I don't even know like what you call them, but like the little decorations that you hang from your rearview mirror, like little crochet plants, or I've seen people do like little Spider-Man amigurumi like hanging from his web. Obviously I wouldn't do something that's that detailed. Like, I want it to be decently simple and like quick to make, of course, but I just think little car hanger things, like, that's so fun. Such a cute little accessory to throw in your car. So yeah, I would like to make some of those. And the last thing I have on my list under my funsies category, and just the last thing I have listed in general, is ornaments, of course. Christmas ornaments. When I did my market in 2023, I made, so I have a bunch of these. I don't know if I have easy access to them right now, but I have a bunch of like little patches, like iron-on patches for different NFL teams. And for the longest time I thought, like, what do I do with these? Because I got them originally and I started making like little hats and beanies like for my man and his like brothers and stuff. I would like crochet the beanie and then like attach the patch to the front of it, kind of like a standard NFL beanie would be, but I have so many left over and so many teams that my family isn't into, that I'm like, okay, what do I do with these? So when I went to that market in October of 2023, I ended up doing this very easy like crochet snowflake ornament, right? But then I hot glued the NFL iron-on patches to those ornaments, and they were so adorable. The teams obviously that are like close in proximity to where I live, those ones sold like quickly. People were like, oh, do you have this team? Do you have the San Francisco 49ers? Do you have, I mean, we still have a lot of people that like are into the Raiders around here because they used to be Oakland, but now they're Las Vegas, but still Vegas isn't that far anyway. But yeah, like people were just like buying those, and I thought that is such a fun thing, and also super fast. But I don't just want to do snowflakes. I feel like doing just a simple round ornament and doing like a little something on top, you know, but adding that NFL patch could be so, so cute. I think that that would be a really good like way to use up acrylic yarn. Plus, I have so many different colors of acrylic yarn that I feel like I will definitely have a color that matches any team patch that I have in these drawers. So I could like literally use up all of these patches if I wanted, and then whatever I don't sell, obviously just list them on my Etsy shop, and like people still have time because they have like a whole month before Christmas, you know, once this market is over. So I don't know, I feel like that'll be really fun. But yeah, okay, those are the ideas that I have so far for the items that I would like to market prep for my market this year. I'm like shocked that I'm even saying this. There's so much that I have to do, but please let me know what you guys think. Like personally in my head, I'm thinking this isn't enough, like, and I don't know if that's like a bad mentality to have. Like, I don't know if I'm like thinking too big, but to me this just feels like a little too simple, or like a little too not enough variety, you know what I mean? But let me know your opinion. Is this too much stuff? Is this not enough stuff? Is this just the right amount of stuff? If you were gonna add anything to the list besides leggy frogs, okay, no leggy frogs, no, but like if you were gonna add anything to this list, what would it be? What do you like to market prep that maybe I'm not even thinking about? Or if you maybe have tried to do any of the things that I have listed here, but maybe you had a hard time, or you thought, oh, that like was not worth the time that I spent, let me know that too. I'm like very new like to this market prepping game. I've literally, like I said, I've done one market in my whole life. It was kind of not like the biggest market in the world. It wasn't exactly what I anticipated that it would be, but I kind of have a feeling that this market that I'm doing this year is going to be like exactly how I imagine that they go. It might be a lot of hustle and bustle. It might go by very quickly. It might be kind of stressful. I hope not. I hope it's just kind of fun. But whatever the case may be, I would love your input. Let me know like how it goes for you whenever you do these types of things. And with all that being said, thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of Christmas in July, and our final episode of Christmas in July this year. I definitely look forward to doing this again next year. And don't worry, you guys, all these things that you saw me start to crochet in the last 3 episodes of Christmas in July, you will definitely be seeing them again. I'm definitely going to be like doing a everything I crocheted for Christmas video this year, of course. And then also maybe like working on some of those items during like our crochet and chit chats and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, okay, I just wanted to say thank you all so much again for being here. As always, I so appreciate you. I always appreciate you guys leaving your just the sweetest comments. Like, you guys are just, you make my day. I don't know really what else to say other than like I'm so grateful to be here talking to you guys. I'm so grateful that I'm even in a position to be saying like, hey, I'm gonna do a market this year, you know, and I really do hope that it doesn't like hinder me or get in the way of me like crocheting all the other things that I want to crochet this year. But honestly, I've been like super motivated lately. I've been like today I think I just posted my 4th TikTok in a row, like 4th day posting TikTok every single day. It's like my 4th day this week. I feel like I'm on top of it. I don't feel like I'm really like, I almost was like, oh my god, like this video that you're watching right now, I filmed it last night, literally last night. Sometimes I have my videos pre-uploaded like 2 weeks in advance, and I'm like, girl, I'm on top of it. Nah, and I'm not gonna say I'm not on top of it, because look, you're watching this video right on Friday. It went up at 8 a.m. But yeah, I like literally filmed this last night, and because I just wasn't, you know, not necessarily on top of it, but hey, I got it done. And I just feel like I've been super busy lately, but I've been like crocheting a lot on top of everything else that I'm doing, and it just feels really good. Like I'm like happy to be doing it. It's like making me feel very motivated, and it's like I want to crochet more and more and more, and I do love that feeling. It's way better than like having a loss of crojo, like the opposite problem. But yeah, anyway, so I guess I'm like rambling right now, but I just wanted to say like I appreciate every single one of you being along for the ride. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for allowing me to have this little platform to share with you guys and just kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and honestly just getting to talk to y'all like multiple times a week. It fills my heart. So thank you for being here, seriously. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. And I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, week, month, night, whatever you're having. Please enjoy yourself, and I will see you all in the next one. Mwah. Bye!